From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Toni-Ann.
On this week's The Disney Crush Podcast, it's Valentine's Day. And all you lovers out there want to go to Disney World with your beloved. We have Chris and Brandi from Prime Marriage Podcast, the Prime Marriage Podcast. They are going to tell us all about the best way to enjoy Walt Disney World as a couple. Dave and I will chime in with some of our opinions. Michael's here with his calendar. Episode 328 of the Disney Crush Podcast. This one's for all the lovers out there.
I think about Loverboy. Loverboy.
Oh, the band Loverboy?
Yeah.
Did they sing "Everybody's Working for the Weekend"?
Yeah, that's it. Hey, there's a lot of birthdays this month. We got my brother Steven,
right.
Hanover on the same day of I mean, how crazy is that?
That's really coincidental.
I know, right?
It was Daniel Ginger's birthday on Groundhog's Day. It was Kevin Curtis Allen's birthday on the 4th. Mm-hmm. It was my friend Kim's birthday, I think on the 5th. Mm-hmm. Carlo, your brother's birthday then came next. Mm-hmm. Carlo's birthday is Saturday. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. Oh, Rob Madeiri's on the 15th.
Oh my gosh!
See? I'm sure we're forgetting people.
I know we're gonna get.
Are
in
you
trouble.
Impressed that I knew Rob Madeiri's birthday?
Yeah. Well, not so much. Yeah. I mean, you know everybody's birthday. You're like the sensei. Well, that's why they're sensei.
No,
you know
and then somebody's birthday is on the 23rd.
23rd. I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just looking to make sure, there's nobody, yeah. Anne-Marie Bankston is also on the 15th. Yeah, that's everybody that I know whose birthday
Okay,
is.
so let's go back 9 months let's see, what would that month be? That would be, if we go back 9 months from February, November. So that's like summertime. That's
somebody's parents were getting down is what you're saying.
Yeah, that was summertime.
All right, I wrote it, Michael. Uncle Carlo's birthday. Okay? Uncle Dave and I are going to do podcasts now, okay? So also the 20th, not this coming Tuesday, the following Tuesday, is my 25th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So, but my husband, the consummate planner, just realized and is like, oh, what should we do? And it's like, well, it's kind of a big one. And we really should have talked about this like 6 months ago. But, that's
hey, well,
rich. Yeah. Yeah.
A spontaneous, then you just be spontaneous and just go crazy and do something.
I've looked and there's really, I have the Princess 5K that Friday. So, I'm kind of leaving him for our 25th anniversary, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, that's the big weekend for you right there, right? I'm looking at my calendar right now.
We used to joke that it was a holiday, that it was like an 8-day holiday from Valentine's Day to my birthday, because we had our anniversary smack in the middle.
True. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff this month. So happy
Not
birthday,
mine,
everyone. And if we missed anybody, we're sorry. Not yours. No, you're in September.
Yeah, I'm a ways away.
So,
Summertime.
Dave, did you hear the big news that 1900 Park Fair is finally reopening at the Grand Floridian?
Yeah, but on a scale from 1 to 10, it's like about
You're not
a 2.
that excited?
Yeah, it's like a 2 or 3.
I'm a little disappointed because the old 1900 Park Fair featured in the morning, it featured Mary Poppins, the Mad Hatter, Alice, characters that you didn't see. And then at night they had Cinderella and the Prince and the stepsisters and the evil stepmother, wicked stepmother. The stepsisters were the best part of that meal. And they're not
coming. I could see that.
They were so funny.
Yeah.
But they're not coming back. It's going to be Tiana. Cinderella is going to be there again. But it's going to be...
See, I'd rather have the stepsisters than Cinderella.
Yeah, me too. Well, they've done renovations on the restaurant. There's going to be new artwork. Oh, it's going to be Aladdin in his Prince Ali costume. Cinderella Mirabelle and Tiana in her new Tiana's Bayou Adventure costume. It's not even going to be Tiana in her beautiful ball gown. It's going to be Tiana in like her pith helmet and her cargo pants and all that. So,
her kick around outfit. Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is. I like it.
But we might go in June because I have a trip planned in June, a mommy trip. We call it a mommy trip. It's going to be me and Michael and Mandy and her kids. And we're trying to convince another mommy to come. But I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it. And I don't know if her husband knows that we're trying to convince her. He probably does. So, and he listens more intently than she does. So he knows who I'm talking about right now.
Who is that?
Holly Austin. We're trying to convince Holly Austin to come. It's Noah's birthday. So it would be Holly and Noah.
Oh.
That would be a fun trip. Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway, that's...
You guys are little instigators, you guys.
Yeah, we are. We're bad. And we're planning a big trip for April for Tori's birthday. We're making reservations this week. We're making some plans. And we shuffled things around today. We are now going to the celebration at the top on February 24th. It was supposed to be for Tori's trip.
February 24th?
No, it turns out it's going to be for Princess.
Okay.
The way Disney is dropping these reservations, they're very unpredictable. So we don't even know if it's going to be offered that weekend of Tori's birthday. We went to check this morning to see if they dropped any new dates for March or April. And instead, they didn't drop any dates for March or April. This morning, they dropped dates for 2 weeks from now, February 24th. So we talked about it. I talked to Tori, and she said, you know what? We should do it then. Now, Tori's going to run a half marathon the next day. She's a little crazy because the party starts at 7. The fireworks are at 8. It's at the Contemporary, at the top of the Contemporary. And we're like, Tori, you're probably not going to get to bed till 9:30, but she's okay with it, she said. But
you know what I should do that night when she does all that? I should come up with Uncle Dave's run and have a run and make her get up at 3:00 in the morning and run. Well,
she's getting up at 3:00 in the morning to run anyway.
Well,
she's getting up earlier than 3:00. She's got to be on the bus before 3:00.
But not Uncle Dave's run.
No, we can do it for her birthday. We can do that. But there's actually is a race the weekend of her birthday.
Oh, of course.
So that would make it difficult.
Whatever.
So anyway, that's the news. I don't really have any Facebook. I don't know if it's worth mentioning that your friend, the tent man, looking for love, did start his own Facebook group, but that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm dropping the subject of that gentleman. So we did want to thank, we have a new Patreon supporter, Jennifer Edmondson. And the funny thing was, when I saw that name, at first I thought it was Jen Pulliam because that was her married name. And when we first met her, there were still some things that were under that name. But I was like, oh, Jen, and she was like, and you and I both were like, I thought Jen was already a Patreon.
Yeah.
She was. She goes, no, that's not me. That's somebody else. And I'm sorry, Jen. I'm sorry, Jennifer Edmondson. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for being a supporter of the show. We'll reach out to you and maybe send you some swag if we have any left. Oh, I think we need to reorder some swag.
Maybe. We got some stuff. Yeah, but in our defense, that's happened before, though, because we've had some problems with Patreon and
where it drops people.
Yeah, and then we just like, well, what was it? That's weird.
Yeah, the billing for Patreon is weird.
Well, I think they got that figured out finally.
Good.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you to all our Patreon supporters, and we need to get some more Patreon content out. Although we did have a little.
I think I might be able to post something from the beginning of the show.
We had a little back and forth when the show started.
Yeah. So look forward to a Patreon coming up me.
Maybe.
Probably tomorrow.
Maybe he'll blackmail me with something embarrassing.
No, I would never do that. I'd edit it all out.
Never. He never. I do recall that there was a recording of me singing that made it to Patreon.
Well, every now and then You never told me, say, Dave, you need to run that by me before you put it out there. You have trust in me, and I appreciate that. But
well, I do. You're the best producer out there.
Okay.
People.
Mm-hmm. Say that again.
You're the best podcast producer out there. I listen to other podcasts. First of all, I know what this sounds like when we first start. Mm-hmm. So that maybe that's why I'm biased, because when it comes out on Wednesdays and I hear it, I'm like, oh my goodness, how did he make roses out of carnations?
Oh, come on now. There's some thorns in there too, but trust me, I can't get everything right. My saying is, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good. And I don't mean this in a bad way. Don't take this the wrong way. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. That's all.
You make it better than good enough.
But it's, if the roles were reversed and you were editing, I would be on pins and needles the whole time before the show came out. I'd be like, oh, I wonder if she took that out. Oh, I was fumbling over my words. Did she take that out? See, that's what I would be doing. It would drive me crazy.
Do you want to know what I've noticed? You take your own fumbles out, but you leave mine in.
I don't leave your fumbles in. Mm-mm. Oh, if you only listen to the raw editing, you would. Oh, Toni-Ann. No, I edit me out a lot just because
I know you do. I know you do
because I edit myself out. I'm like,
which I wish you wouldn't do, because people love you, Dave.
No, I need to edit myself out.
You're the favorite of the podcast hosts here.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You are. You don't believe me, and you're so wrong. But anyway, yeah, I don't think I have any Facebook. I'm just double checking, but it's been a quiet week, and I've been a little busy. Work's been crazy, Dave. Work's been really crazy. Winter is a tough time for hospice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, the way it goes. I did surprise Dave. I cut my hair. He didn't expect that.
No, it looks good. Oh, it looks good.
I have a lot of 80s pictures of our friends because we were having a conversation about the 80s.
Really?
I told you about the... Oh, here's one, David. Would you like to give me an intro?
What are you doing, Facebook?
Yeah, I found one.
Oh, this week's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Facebook. I wonder if it's a misconnection. Bing.
It's not a misconnection. I would have put the music on if it was a misconnection.
Oh, true.
But
that's true.
I will never go back to Space 220. I told them it was my birthday, and they didn't do anything. I went to guest services, and they made me feel really bad. She told them it was her birthday, and they didn't do anything.
That's happened to us before. We've told them, we've just mentioned it or done, and nothing. Where was it? It was Raglan Road, I think.
It was Raglan Road. It was your birthday.
Remember that?
It was your birthday, Raglan Road.
And they did nothing.
And the thing that was funny was the table next to us, they sang happy birthday to.
Yeah.
And they didn't sing happy birthday to you.
Right. I think they knew. That's that guy Dave from the Disney Crush. Let's don't do nothing. He thinks he's all, yeah.
Yep. That was funny. I say this all the time, if your heart is, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. You're dead set on having a birthday celebration at Disney, you have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Them pixie dusting you is sporadic and not guaranteed. So if you have your heart set, that's the word I'm looking for. If you have your heart set on getting a cake or a cupcake or something special for your birthday, you need to buy it. They do have cakes that you can pre-order. A lot of the restaurants have cakes at the podium that you could order, the Mickey ears ones. And even when you make your ADR, a lot of them, it'll pop up this cake. So if you want something special for your birthday, you should pay for it. That's the only way it'll be guaranteed.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a great Facebook. Facebook never disappoints. I like
never
it.
Does.
That was a good
never
one.
does. Okay.
Do you have any misconnections?
No misconnections,
Oh,
Dave. No
man.
misconnections.
Man, come on. You got to get on it,
I
man.
know. You're a romantic. Maybe we'll get one next week.
I'm not a romantic. This is not my gig right here.
All right. So, Dave, Valentine's Day's coming.
I know.
Did you get
I'm not prepared.
You didn't get your wife a present?
No, we don't really do that. I mean, no, we don't. No.
Yeah.
I mean, Christmas, we don't really. I mean, spontaneously, I'll just get something or, but no.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, not anymore. Is that bad?
No.
I need to plan something for Valentine's? No.
Me and Rich don't exchange Christmas presents.
Yeah.
We haven't for years. We just because the kids were more important at the time. But anyway.
Yeah.
But you do special things with her at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We go see Naked Elsa. We go to. Yeah, we go hit all the good spots. Yeah.
So we have Chris Futrell and his wife Brandi Futrell on this week to talk about Disney for couples.
Hi.
Hello.
Chris and Brandi are the hosts of the Prime Marriage podcast. I have to tell you that whenever I talk to somebody in our circle and I say, have you listened to the Prime Marriage podcast? And if they say no, I'm like, why not? You must listen. Even if you're not married, I think it's good because it talks about relationships, but it also helps you to kind of think about what you'd like to attain in your relationship if you're not in one already or if you're not quite married yet.
Preparation
Yes.
is everything. Yes.
And thanks for the advertisement. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I tell everybody. I think you guys are amazing, and I would talk to Dave, and he's been listening, and he thinks the chemistry between you guys should get married or something.
I've been trying.
Okay, I have a huge confession to make right here. I used to listen to podcasts a lot a while back, and I kind of stopped listening to podcasts. So I have listened to your podcast before, but I just don't listen to podcasts anymore. I don't even listen to our podcast. I edit it, and that's it. I don't listen.
I understand. I do the same.
Oh, right. So, but since we were having you guys on, I'm like, I need to just, kind of listen to them, see what's going on. So I started listening to you guys, and I'm being totally honest with you guys right now. It's like a Netflix series that you watch and you can't stop watching it. I listen to you guys, and I'm telling you the truth. I have been listening to you guys, and I'm so caught up now. And I'm like, please come out with another podcast because I can't wait for the next one. I'm serious. It's absolutely amazing. You guys have that chemistry. Just the stories you tell. Everything's about stories, and your stories are amazing. Mm-hmm. And I just can't praise you guys enough. The Prime Marriage podcast is like now my top of my list on my thing.
Thank you so much. That is very generous of you. Whether you're being honest or not.
I love it.
We'll
I
take
love it. You guys keep me company when I go on my walks. I listen to
Well,
you guys
good.
on my walks.
Maybe it'll rub off on me and then I can start going on walks too.
Yeah. Yeah. So we sent you guys some questions, kind of conversation starters about couples trips to Walt Disney World. Now, a lot of our friends don't know this about Chris, but he was not the Disney freak when they met. When Chris and Brandi met, he had only been to Disney once, right? When you were a kid?
When I was a kid.
And Brandi was the Disney fan.
Yeah.
And so you brought him.
I did.
Tell us about, did you have to twist his arm or?
It was kind of tough. I was preparing him for how we Disneyed.
Mm-hmm.
We get up, we hit the ground running, we go from sun up to sundown. We open the park, we close the park. And I was preparing him for that. And he started getting mad. He was like, what if I want to take a nap? And I was like, no, we don't do that. Like, that's not how we Disney.
See, I was a crusher from the very beginning.
See?
I really was. She was the geek. I was the crusher. But
there you go.
Yeah. So after we went the first time and he kind of saw how we did it, that's when the binder formed.
Yeah. He's a planner.
Yeah. Oh, a big time planner. Like he plans a lot of trips that we never go on.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Cool.
true.
Sounds like me.
I had one picked out today. We found a new airline that is like ridiculous. I found round trip for $114. And I'm like, Oh my gosh.
Nice.
And I had to reel him back in.
We have a big group trip planned April 18th-ish. So just letting you know. That's awesome though. I love that you guys have shared your love of Disney with each other, and now you are coming into the sunset years and you're soon to be empty nesters. Yeah, I'm calling you old. You're soon to be empty nesters. So you have had more trips recently where it's just the two of you. Because you did the whole family thing.
And we will never do that again.
Ooh, do tell.
Oh, leave them kids at home.
I say it all the time.
It was it was great to give them a Disney gift card and tell them to go do their own thing. And then we still continue to do ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the family trips aren't too bad when they're old enough to go off on their own and you're not worried about them. When you're in the bubble, you're not too worried about kids when they're, 16, 17, 18. You just go eat at Pop Century Food Court because that seems to be the only place you like anyway. And we're going to go to Sanaa, or we're going to go, that's.
So the one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys, is there anything that you learned from about each other or from traveling together? Did you learn anything that you didn't know about each other when you started traveling together?
I think so.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Well, she's always been a thrifty person. And I mean, she'll save money and she'll do whatever. But I noticed on vacation, she's still like that. She wants to not spend. She wants to, well, we don't really need that. We don't really, and I have to be no, look, I saved up all this gift card money and we are going to spend money and we are going to, so I have to really I'll sneak around and she'll be like, "Ooh, I like that. We'll get it." No. So I'll sneak back later on and pick it up and just, be like, she always appreciates it, but she just won't spend the money. And I think she's discovered that she likes vacation, Chris.
I do like vacation Chris a lot.
And is that why? Because you do like the meal. We've talked about the meal plan with you before. Is that why? Because if the credits are already paid for, it makes it easier.
That's part of it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if now that we're out of the family dynamic, I don't know if it would really make sense for us anymore the way it used to. Because we're not doing character meals. We're not, we don't have a drink with every single meal. So it's just that's not something that, I think would probably work out for us anymore. But there are some families like the Austins, they talk about it. They are pro, and they can absolutely get their money's worth.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That was the way to go. Whenever the meal plans came out, whenever my kids were younger, that was the only way to go.
I saw a couple on TikTok that did the quick service meal plan, and it was 2 adults and 2 children. And what they did to get around that Magic Kingdom thing, there's no alcohol in Magic Kingdom. They just used their adult credits at the other parks. So they would get 4 adult meals. So each parent would get 2 alcoholic beverages.
Oh, wow.
And then on their Magic Kingdom days, they used the kids' credits at Sleepy Hollow, where there's no kids menu. So they had the chicken waffle thing. And so
it's kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
That's where they used the kids' credits at Magic Kingdom, where they couldn't have alcohol anyway.
Well, I think we've kind of discovered some different things about each other when we've been traveling.
Yeah. What I figured out about him was like I said, I was a go-getter. I would wake up, we would rope drop, we would get to the park, we would hit everything. We took advantage of every parade, every fireworks show, because we would go ride rides because it was less wait times. And with Mr. Futrell over here, he would say, "Oh, there's a parade." And I'm like, "No, this is the time to go ride rides." And he'd say, "Oh, let's watch this parade." And so we went to shows, we went to parades. I had never seen The Lion King. And I got to experience that with him. Never been in the Tiki Room. Got to experience that with him. There was a lot of shows and parades that I now appreciate because of him.
That Nemo show.
The Nemo show. We saw that the last time we went.
And
that
the Beauty
was
and the Beast. Oh, the choreography for that one was great.
I'm a dancer, so I love that. Yeah.
Awesome.
So he's taught me to slow down a little bit.
See, hang out with a crusher. There you go. So, Dave, you got any questions for Brandi and Chris?
No, it just sounds like does it feel like it's strengthened your marriage? I mean, it seems to me like it's great couple therapy. I don't know. You let your guard down. You're a little bit more vulnerable.
By the time we get to where we're going, we need that. We both work full-time jobs, and we need that decompression time. And
not just full-time jobs. We also have some, family stressors that we've been dealing with that it's good to get away.
Yeah.
That's what I found, because I've had separate hobbies for years and years of our marriage, and it's kind of worked because my wife likes it when I go off and do my own thing. She needs her own time. But when we finally started going to Disney together, to me, it strengthened our relationship. It kind of bound us together, family, and just our alone time. We would find time in the parks just to kind of sit down and talk to each other. When you're in your normal life, sometimes stress, life itself just gets in the way sometimes. But when you're at Disney, even though Disney is crazy in its own way, you kind of find time to kind of really connect with each other.
Yeah.
And that's bound us together.
Yeah, I would say, especially if you wait in lines, while you're waiting in line, you can strike up a conversation, and then you don't really have time for it to get too deep because, you're moving and you don't want everybody and their brother hearing about some of the stuff. But there's a lot of creativity that comes out of that. We're both creative people and kind of think up things, and we can run ideas by. Whereas if we were sitting at home doing stuff, we wouldn't have time to be able to do that.
Yep.
So if you wanted to sit down and talk, have you guys found places in Disney? I know Chris, sometimes when he's on a Disney vacation, he'll post a live from a serene place. What do you call it? Chris's moment of calm.
1 minute of Disney Zen.
That's what you call it, right? So there are some secluded areas or quiet areas. Have you found any place that you like to go, Chris? If you wanted to have a serious conversation, where would you go? Or
I tell you what,
a romantic spot maybe.
For me, it's all about water. Where can I be around the water? Even at places crazy as like Disney Springs, we'll go down by the little Joffrey's thing there in front of World of Disney, kind of down a little bit, right down by the water. There's some tables that are right there, and we'll just go right across from Rainforest Cafe where the volcano is, and we'll just sit there and we'll talk. Or this last time you were mad at me when we were sitting there, and
there was no talking.
She could just sit there and glower at me. But either way, it's a peaceful place to glower. And but yeah, we've been there. I really liked Three Bridges. It's not got a huge amount of people, and you're right there in the middle of the water with the fountain and just
Geyser Point's
another great place. You're sitting out there by the lake. Anywhere around water is wonderful to sit and have a conversation.
Right. Three Bridges. Dave, you got to get to Three Bridges.
I know.
Yeah. That's
I haven't gotten there
spot
yet.
Dave hasn't gotten to yet. Hasn't gotten to Geyser Point either, for that matter.
You need to get to both of them. I approve. And by the way, through this, I learned about this whole minute of Disney Zen. I didn't know he did that.
See,
so I learned something new.
There you go.
It's like when she's like, hey, I need to go use the restroom. I'll look for something around and just because I don't want to eat up time when we're together to say, no, you can't talk for a minute while I'm taping. I do it when she's not around. So,
He could do it as a challenge to get me to stop talking for a minute.
Boy.
Tell us what would be your dream date at Disney if you could. If you could just dream up your own date and map it all out, what would that look like?
So I would say we would have dinner at California Grill. And then where would we go after that?
I think we'd head to Disney Springs and we would do the aerofoil again, the balloon.
Oh, yeah.
We did that one time. It's not something that was really family friendly with the price they charge you to get on there for a 15-minute ride. But for just two people, you can usually get a Groupon for it. That's a little hint out there.
Yes.
We got a Groupon for it. And it was really neat.
It was really pretty. I'd like to see it at night. We went during the day.
We did.
And it was really
pretty. I think
pretty.
at sunset, it would just be gorgeous. But maybe go up there and then from Disney Springs, maybe take the water taxi.
Yeah, we would take the water taxi
back to French Quarter and do a carriage ride.
Nice. Do you know what we just realized at French Quarter? It's not that we just realized. We kind of knew, but over there at Scat Cats, if you go around the corner, they have the beignets, but if you go around the corner, there's like a jazz club. at nighttime. It's
Yeah, I've
scat
heard
cave.
that. I've not been there when they've had that. The only time we went to French Quarter was in the morning
Yes.
to get beignets.
Yeah.
Because we were staying at Riverside. So we just went over there and so that's the only time I've been there other than
We went there for dinner, didn't we?
no, that was at Riverside.
No, that was at Riverside.
Right.
Other than the pool party for the pub sub at T3 2022.
Yes. When I hung out with Kevin Curtis Allen, because he says I never hang out with him anymore.
And I photobombed you all at
That's
the pool.
right. That's right. You did. So if you were visiting Disney for Valentine's Day or your anniversary, a special anniversary, which resort do you think you would stay at if it was a special romantic weekend?
So we are kind of like you all. We don't really do Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Since Chris and I have been married, he has done something that has been more endearing to me than if he were to be elaborate with like flowers, which I'm not a flowers person anyway.
Yeah,
So, but he takes our girls out.
Nice.
He takes them out on a date. He'll get them some sort of gift. Usually it's a stuffed animal of some sort. He buys my daughter chocolate covered strawberries, and he'll take them out to eat. So Valentine's Day for us is more about showing the girls what they need to be expecting. So we probably lean into anniversary, what we would do for our anniversary.
Okay, so where would you stay, you think?
Apparently we would be staying separate.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's okay.
And what makes this hilarious, because when I asked her, she was like, I think the Polynesian. And I was like, and see, I want to do Wilderness Lodge. So maybe we'll just stay at each place and then we'll meet somewhere in the middle each other. But what's funny is the Polynesian is my bucket list and her bucket list is Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Why we picked the opposite one that we want to stay at, I have no idea. But that's what I picked her bucket list. She picked mine. So we would be happy at either one, I think.
So let me tell you something about the Polynesian, though. That lobby is not relaxing. It's chaotic.
Yes.
It's that the lobby of the Polynesian is not like every other deluxe resort. You could go to the lobby and kind of chill, but it's like Grand Central Station, the lobby at the Poly. But there's other areas. There's like,
So I'm just gonna lay it out there and be a little.
Are we going to talk about?
I mean, if we're going away for our anniversary, I don't think we'll be seeing much of the lobby.
Okay.
We just won't tell Kevin Curtis Allen about it.
Okay. All right. We got more on the Disney Crush podcast than Chris has been trying to get on the Prime Marriage podcast for months.
We actually have a video that we're wanting to.
Oh, there's video?
Whoa, horsey. Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Not that kind of video. We have a promo video that we're wanting to put out before it. So that's been kind of so we thought that it was funny for him to keep, which it's not something I'm looking forward to.
Oh, okay. That's all right. No, I get it though, that you'd like a nice room.
Yes. Yes.
And the rooms at the Poly are nice and big. So Rich and I stayed at Wilderness Lodge for our 20th anniversary. So it was really nice. We went to Geyser Point, we rode the boat, we sat in the lobby by the fireplace. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and Veronica and I stayed at Polynesian, and I don't think we left the room for 2 days.
See?
We just enjoyed the resort.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I almost gave you some air quotes on the resorts. Yeah.
Me and my mom visited you in that room, Dave. I don't know.
Well, all right, you guys. What has been your favorite memory at Disney together? Do you have one?
I think probably it would be our first couples only visit. And this was in 2020. So it was still full mask, all the time. But we rented DVC points and we had a Savannah View room at Jumbo House. Nice. And just every morning going out and having coffee and watching the animals before we even get our Disney day started, that was incredible. You can say whatever you like. I know it's not everybody's favorite resort and it's kind of way out there, but you're not going to get an experience like that at any place in the United States, really.
Yeah.
So it is just incredible.
I have a different favorite.
Okay.
So we went to Storybook Dining and my husband became a character. And actually, when it came time for the poison apples to come out, there was a little boy sitting behind him. And he heard the waitress say poison apples. And so he was very concerned about us eating poison apples.
Oh,
and so Chris played it up to the point that he ate the apple. He kind of started wavering in his seat, fell out in the floor, and the little boy's mouth was like on the ground. He could not believe it. And then Chris jumps up and he's like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it up. And as soon as his mom was like, he's very concerned about you eating this poison apple. He heard the waitress talking about. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, he completely made it extra magical for that little boy. And to me, awesome. That was one of my favorite memories. I'm married to a goofball.
That's okay.
And I love him.
I wish I could have been there and watched that. That'd have been awesome.
Well, he didn't even tell me. Like, I was like, he seriously did not just do that.
That's great.
And Dave and I just experienced a morning on the Savannah just a couple weeks ago, and it was beautiful. I wish we had more time there, Dave. Right?
I know, and I agree. The coffee in the morning, that experience with the sun's coming up and the animals, and our experience was a little different. We had the animals, we had people on their patios doing coffee, and then this little kid down below. We were on the 5th floor, higher up.
Yeah.
And down below us, a little kid goes, "Good morning, Disney." We talked about this on the podcast before.
Yeah, we did.
Good morning, Disney. And then another one on the other side, "Good morning, Disney." And then Veronica goes running out, "Good morning, Disney."
It was really cool, though. It was a neat moment.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a really neat moment.
It's like everybody's experiencing the same feeling. We're all feeling it. And yeah, it's letting go. Just let go and have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, he let go of his seat and everything.
Yes, he did. The poison apple got him.
So is there a cliche place at Disney that people think is a romantic spot they have to go to that in your mind isn't really all that romantic? Like, I talked about just going to Narcoossee's last week, and the acoustics
I was wondering
really
why this question even got included until I was listening to the Disney Crush episode today, and I heard you mention that, and I was like, that's why she asked us.
Yeah, it was really loud in there. So I wouldn't go there on a date.
I don't know if we've been any place that has that reputation that's just not. There are some places that we've not had great experiences at that are considered romantic. Okay. And the atmosphere was romantic.
Yeah.
I mean, Topolino's was one of them. Toledo was another one of them.
Oh, I had a bad experience at Toledo too.
Yeah. Well, and I should say, we didn't have a bad experience at either one, but both of them were just, And for the price we were paying, we wanted a little more than,
Yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't great.
I could add in front of the castle. While it's magical, everybody wants that magical moment.
Yeah.
And so it's not like to see somebody propose in front of the castle. Like that to me is not romantic because there's 20 other people that are waiting for your turn. You know what I mean? And they're pushing and they're getting photobombed. And so I would say, while I love the castle and like you get first sight of it coming down Main Street and it takes your breath away and you experience the beauty, it is not the romantic place.
Yeah. I think, like you talked about the carriage ride before, if I was going to get proposed to, I think that would be more romantic than the carriage ride.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I got married. I got engaged in a bank parking lot. So... So I shouldn't talk.
See, and part of the thing is because my Disney journey started so recently, really. I mean, we went in 2016, but then we didn't go back for 4 years. And so when we went back in 2020, at the end of 2020, it's only been really the last 4 years we've went pretty regularly. So I haven't got to experience a whole lot of signature restaurants, places that would be considered, I don't know what Victoria and Albert's is like. I don't know what Monsieur Paul's is like or Takumite. They may be as romantic as what, their price tag says they are, but I don't know. I've been to Flying Fish. It was great. I think that one is a nice place. It's we've been to California Grill. That's been our favorite meal on property so far. It was just so good. We've not really been to a whole lot of other signatures.
No.
So let me tell you my concern with some of the signatures. The service is so like on top of you, because if they bring you a new fork and so Rich and I went for our 20th anniversary. We went to Flying Fish and Citrico's, and both nights the server didn't leave our side. And it's like, it's our 20th anniversary. And the server is like, sir, can I wipe your mouth for you? Like, it was a lot. The servers were like so on top of us. And it was like, we'd like a minute alone. And
Yeah.
That's really unacceptable because I was a server for 18 years. That's what I did most of my adult life until I got, went back to school and got my degree. And you just got to know how to read a table. There are some tables, they want you there all the time.
Right.
But then there's other ones, 2 glances, and I know they're here for a romantic dinner. And unless I see they're dead empty on their drink, I'm not bugging them. That's just part of being a good server, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, it was really funny because the server asked how we met. And so then we got a card from the server. We met at Target. Brandi, I don't know if you know that. So we got a anniversary card from our server, and it was like, way to keep your marriage on target.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but she shouldn't have known that much about us on our anniversary. So, yeah. I would say Le Cellier is supposed, it's dark and secluded, and it's supposed to be in the basement. But the problem is the tables are literally on top of each other, so you could have a conversation. You could hear what the people next to you are saying. You could touch the person next to you at Le Cellier.
Yeah,
at least it was before COVID. I don't know if it's gotten back. If I know after COVID there were less tables, but I think they've probably added the tables back.
I kind of feel the same way though about. And even though I've never eaten there, just we see it obviously because San Angel Inn, because and that there, it's like, well, it's dark and romantic. It's so dark, you got to use your flashlight on your phone to read the menu. It is dark in there.
Right. Oh, Cinderella getting engaged in Cinderella Castle, like at Cinderella's royal table. People want to get engaged there.
Yeah,
but there's a bunch of kids there, and there's kids running around, and there's a princess promenade, and so you're just getting down on one knee, and the music comes on, and the princess are.
Now, I will say this though, even though it's not, it would never be somewhere you would want to propose at. I do think that Storybook Dining is a pretty romantic location.
It was pretty neat. I enjoyed it. Even though it was the characters, and you kind of think characters and kids, I don't know. I enjoyed it as an adult meal.
Yeah, and just the decor in there, all the vines and the stuff. It was a very neat place. It definitely had a romantic feel to it.
The Wilderness Lodge in general has a nice romantic feel. The Wilderness Lodge has the fireplace inside. Rich and I have enjoyed Jumbo House. There's a fireplace there, and we've sat there and had a glass of wine by the fireplace. So that's another nice spot. Yeah. So, Dave, do you and Veronica have any romantic spots at Disney or that you like to go to?
No, I can't really think of anything in specific, but I think that with us, it just comes down to those spontaneous moments where you just don't expect it to happen, and then they just kind of happen. Like one time we were at the Polynesian walking through, and we just got a drink at one of the little sidebars or something, and then next thing you know, we were on the beach just talking, and we got lost for an hour just talking to each other, which we don't get to do a lot of times. So those are the moments I really appreciate and think back. Well, that was kind of, if you want to call it romantic, you can call it romantic.
Yeah. I would love some hammock time.
That'd be nice. I remember the time that you guys just happened upon the waterfall in the back of Canada that you didn't even realize was there back in your early Disney days.
So right. And we just sat there and just was in awe. It's like, oh, we've been walking by this forever, and it's been back here. How did we miss this? And there was nobody back there. It was. I
tell you, there is also a place that it seems to just strike at the heartstrings every time you're there. Chef Mickey's. I mean, everything I can do to keep my hands off of her whenever we're in there and waving the napkins and just
I've had to make him stop making reservations there because of that.
Because he can't control himself.
Right. Yeah.
No, we're not going to do it.
I am really looking forward to that very special episode of the Marriage Podcast.
Me too.
I wish I could do that WB voice, the announcer from the WB, on a very special program.
Hey, any great takeaways, you guys together while you guys been Disney, take all these trips to Disney? Anything that's just like, for me, as an example, My patience for parking, when we get into the park, I'm so stressed, like, because we drive. So coming in and then going through all the driving has just been so stressful for me. And then Veronica is just, she's just the calmest. And, no, we're going to be fine and we're going to take it and we're going to be good. And I'm like, no, but we don't, no turn. No, don't let that guy cut in front of you. Wait, what are you doing? And I just get so stressed out. And I've learned over the years just to be calm and relax, and it's all going to be okay.
See, this is precisely the reason we never drive. In fact, when we came for this last G3, we did drive, but that car never moved from the moment we got on property until we took off that morning to leave. We like and I know some people hate the Disney transportation, but when we were at Pop Century, so you have the Skyliner to 2 of the parks, and for Magic Kingdom, those buses never stop coming. They have them lined up in the morning. You do not have to wait. I don't care how bad the crowd looks. You're getting on quick because they just bring them one after another. So I never mind the Disney transportation. This last trip we took in December, not Children's Pastor Conference, but the one before that, we rode so many boats because we were at the Dolphin. And, we rode so many boats because she was already having some knee issues. So we didn't, even though we were walking distance to the parks, we took the boats everywhere. And it was great. I mean, so enjoy being out on the water. So that's I do not envy you having to drive everywhere. That would stress me out too.
Takeaways are just enjoy the time.
Yeah.
Enjoy the time away.
And see, something that I have noticed about probably why she likes Vacation Chris a lot better than Home Chris is Home Chris has his routines. He has his things that he does. On Saturday morning at about 10 o'clock, Chris starts laundry. And if I don't start laundry, I start getting antsy because I'm not doing laundry yet. And so Vacation Chris is not in that rut. In fact, I'm just like, what's something we've never done? Let's go do that. It's not, let's do the same thing we've done every single time. I'm just really like, I want to experience everything this place has to offer. And as we've heard so many times, especially on this podcast, you can't do it all.
No,
so
you can't.
No, I haven't been to 3 Bridges. Come on. Hello.
Absolutely.
That's for us. It's just a getaway because sometimes get so caught up in life, and when we're there, we let it all go, and we can kind of relax just a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't used to think that Disney and relax went in the same sentence, but I am learning.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And lately honestly, sometimes we go to the park sometimes, and we might not even ride a ride.
Yeah.
It's happened many times. We just get caught up in the moment and we just start walking around, and you see so much that you just walk by. Just every time you just keep walking by and like, wait a minute, we're just going to stop and go in there. We've never been in there. We're going to go there. We're going to look at that.
Right.
So much to see, so much to do.
Absolutely.
This has been fun, you guys.
I am so glad that we had this very special Valentine's episode with Chris and Brandi of the Prime Marriage Podcast. Guys, if you're not listening to Prime Marriage Podcast, you should be, because they are just as delightful on their show as they were on this show. Even more so, their humor, their love for one another just shines through, and you really need to listen. Chris, you also have a side gig. You want to tell everybody what your side gig? Yeah.
I am a travel agent. I know people that don't even like that anymore. Travel advisor. Yes, with Happily Ever After Travel. So you can find me at Futrell, Chris, my last name, first name, at happilyeveraftertravel.com. It's a mouthful. My email address is ridiculous. But anyway, you can find me there or on Facebook, wherever.
Absolutely. And you do more than just Disney, right? You do.
Right. Yeah, we do all inclusives, cruises, theme parks. Yeah.
For all your travel needs.
Your travel needs.
Yes.
David.
I just say listen to the podcast. I'm binge watching, listening to them right now. I'm binge listening to them right now. And their latest podcast just came out a couple of days ago, and I just listened to it today. And let me tell you something. It was a little deep, but I can't wait for the next one now. See?
Sometimes we do deep. Sometimes we keep it light and have a game night, so we want to focus, because that's part of marriage, is do both. You got to have hard conversations, but you also have to have fun, which is really what this episode's about. Have fun. Go to Disney.
That's right.
Leave them kids at home. Them ungrateful heathens don't deserve the trip anyway. Just leave them at home.
And because I love the title of their last episode, Mind Your Business. It was great.
Well, it wouldn't be a Chris Futrell production if it didn't have some kind of catchy phrase or title.
Mhm.
No, I love it. Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure. Hey, check them out. Check the podcast out. Travel Agent, Toni-Ann, anything else?
I don't think so. Brandi, Chris, thank you so much. I'm so
Oh,
glad
thank
we did
you.
this. It was so
Thank you
fun.
so much.
We
It was
enjoyed it.
fun.
Until next week, this is going to do it for the Disney Crush podcast. We'll see you guys later. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I think that's it. All right.